So the second example is x squared. When you are given this question, you need to make sure that it's in standard form. So please take this 4 and you put it before the sign. So you are going to have x squared plus 3x minus 4 is less than 0. According to what we said earlier on, first find the critical values. X squared plus 3x minus 4 is equal to 0. We can use quadratic formula or we can factorize x plus 4, x minus 1 is equal to 0. So either x plus 4 is equal to 0 or x minus 1 is equal to 0. Then x is equal to minus 4 or x is equal to 1. After you are done with this, draw a number line. And on the number line, the smallest goes to the left, minus 4. The biggest goes to the right, which is 1. Then after that, you now think, is it a smiling graph or a sad graph? Of course, it's a smiling graph because the coefficient of here is positive. So we are going to have this smiling graph. Just in case you're asking yourself like, but we didn't calculate the signs here. It's still fine. You can calculate them now. Pick any value before -4. We can take -10 and we plug it in here. We get -10 squared plus 3 times -10 minus 4. The answer is going to be positive. If you check again, you pick any number that is in between here, 0 for example. 0 squared plus 3 times 0 minus 4, we are going to get negative answer. And if you pick any number after this one, so this one was positive, this one was negative, this one again is positive. You kind of know already, since we've plus minus plus or minus plus minus, that's what's going to happen usually when you are doing your calculations. So let's have the last one. Of course, we've already written here, but just to clear doubts, and that's 3 times 2 minus 4. If you punch your calculator, you're going to have 4 plus 6 minus 4, and the answer is going to be positive 6. So the answer is positive. And again, the graph is saying x squared plus 3x minus 4 is less than 0. Less than 0 means we want the negative. The portion with the negative. Less than 0 is negative. The numbers that are less than 0 are negative numbers. So we shade here again. Just in case you are thinking like, so all the graphs are going to be like this. Not really, because some graphs are going to be different really. So the answer here will still be our x is in between 1 and -4. Yes. But what if we were given something that's looking almost similar? Let's say we were given something like x squared plus 3x minus 4 is greater or equal to 0. What would we do in this case? Of course, just like always, find the critical values. That's we already calculated the critical values of this one, but these were the critical values that we calculated and we got them here. So I'm not going to repeat that, but you are going to calculate again, and then you'll find out that your critical values are x is equals to -4 and x is equals to 1. These are your critical values, right? Now with your critical values, you plot on the graph, just like what we did here. We get -4 and we get 1 to the right. And it's a smiling graph, so we still draw the smiling graph. So what's different here? Okay. And the symbols we are going to calculate, because still if we take any number here, we are going to get a plus, because that's what we already did. If we take any number here, like 0, we are going to get a minus. If we take any number here, we're going to get a plus. So now the question that we now need to answer is, when we are now talking about greater or equal to 0. Greater or equal to 0. It means now we want the areas with positive, not with negative, because the numbers that are greater than 0 are positive. So greater than 0 are which side? The positive side, this side. So you shade those sides because these are the sides that are greater than what? Greater than 0. So that's what you do, you shade them. So when you are writing the answer now, it depends on whether you are writing in interval notation or you are writing in inequality notation. But if you are writing in inequality notation, you need to know that your x is less than -4 and x is greater than 1. These are the two situations. Your x is less than, which means before -4, and after 1, which means bigger than 1. Let me write it up here in interval notation. Okay, you would say something like x is an element of, then you open, oh, by the way, there's an and equal to here, and equal to, sorry for that. Why? Because they already have something like that. So the side of infinity, remember, we always take the way it is, -infinity up to -4. Then at -4, you close brackets this way. Union, the other part, which is starting from 1 until we get to infinity. Right? The side of infinity and -infinity always uses this bracket. But these sides, because of this, we use square brackets. How about you have your own? If you have any question, make sure that you comment in the comment section below.